Now, you guys, for the last few days, we have been working the case of Kahleb Collins. So when I first did this case, I thought we was doing a case on a 1-year-old that went missing after a horrific car accident. But once we dug deeper and deeper into this situation, we started to find out a lot of information. Now let's go back to the day of the car accident, which would have been December 8th. Stephen Collins and Wendy Bailey, they're in his Toyota Tacoma with Riley. So we know that Riley is the older daughter. So the three of them end up getting into this horrific car accident, and at first it looks very tragic. It looks like this was an accident. But as the investigation deepens, we find out that Stephen was traveling over 90 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. It was also raining on this day, and it's being said that there were no skid marks, leading people to believe that he did not try to prevent this accident. So Stephen Collins and Riley Collins, they tragically lose their life. But Wendy is taken to UAB, where she still remains in ICU. But you guys, we find out that family members are saying that, hey, we know that the three of them got into this accident, but there's another person in this family that's missing. And it turns out it was 1-year-old Kahleb Collins, which is the son of Wendy and Stephen. Now, we now know that Kahleb's grandmother is the first one that alerted police that he was missing. So Kahleb's grandmother told police, look, this man right here, John Elton Bailey, which is Kahleb's grandfather, told her that Kahleb had been missing since September. So now we know that Kahleb was not involved in that accident. Kahleb had already been missing prior. So after they found out this information, they arrest John Elton Bailey because he failed to report Kahleb missing. We find out that there were some issues with DHR, and John Elton Bailey had temporary custody of Kahleb, making him the person responsible for not reporting him missing. Now, as the case deepens, we go through social media pages of Stephen and Wendy, and we see that they rarely post Kahleb. Not only that, when I went through family members' pages, after that accident took place, a lot of people were saying, rest in peace, Riley, rest in peace, Stephen. But for some reason, nobody mentioned the fact that Kahleb was missing. So in November of this year, Stephen posted to Facebook and says that Kahleb isn't doing well. He says that Kahleb is dealing with this illness and that the family is going through a lot. Now, the reason why this is important is because neighbors in Winfield, Alabama, where all of them live, say that they always saw Riley, but they never saw Kahleb. When they would question Stephen about the whereabouts of Kahleb, Stephen would tell them that Kahleb was very sick and Kahleb was living with a family friend. But how is that even possible if John Elton Bailey has custody of Kahleb and John Elton Bailey lives in the same home as Stephen and Wendy? Now, we know that since the disappearance of Kahleb, police have been seen digging around the residence. And they also have come out to say that they believe that Kahleb might have suffered serious bodily harm or even death. Now, some people have come out to express that they believe that Wendy might have been a victim of domestic violence. And they believe that that accident might have been a result of Stephen trying to end everything. But even if that was the case, nobody reported this child missing all the way from September. And not only that, both of them were constantly posting Riley on their page and not even posting Kahleb. So even if she was a victim of domestic violence, even if there was more going on in that home, it still does not take away from the fact that John Elton Bailey was in the home and Kahleb was supposed to be with John Elton Bailey. So why didn't anybody report this child missing? So the Collins side of the family, they're basically saying, look, we had no idea none of this was happening. We was estranged from Stephen. We was estranged from the whole situation. We barely even saw the kids. They really don't want people to cast judgment on this situation because they are just in shock as everybody else. Now, you guys, I don't know what was going on in that home, but every picture that I see of Kahleb, he looks sad. He looks like he has bruises. Why did Stephen post a message in November saying that Kahleb wasn't doing good and he was sick if Kahleb hadn't even been seen since September? Was Stephen worried that it was about to come out that something happened to Kahleb? Was he trying to paint this narrative like Kahleb was sick, so if something did come out, that would be the thing that everybody thought happened? And still, we do not know where baby Kahleb is. So John Elton Bailey is still in jail. Wendy is still in ICU, and we have no idea where this baby is. Now, if you have any information on the disappearance of Kahleb, please contact police. I'm going to keep you guys updated on any other things that come out. I really just wanted to do this rundown because we have so many videos out about everything that's going on. I wanted to try to sum everything up and put it in one video. Now, as always, make sure you blow this up, share this. Let's get some answers into the whereabouts of this baby.